Yeah, I think maybe we just died back in the early the late 1990s during 1-2K. I think we just died. And then
Hmm.
we this is hell. We're probably in hell.
Well, even I
That
will
or
say
or
this.
or or we're like in some sort of weird alternate reality where I don't know, some scientists were probably fucking around with something underground and then they twisted the timelines or something and now we live here.
Or maybe who.
My only problem is that I wish if they fucked reality up, at the very least, one, give me powers. Okay? All right, give me powers, right? Or B, give me anime cat girls, right?
Oh my
Like,
God.
why the fuck not? Right? Stuff like that. Or I was actually about to say aliens, but apparently aliens do exist.
Don't they exist
Uh
underwater now? Isn't that a whole thing where it's like they're
I
underwater
don't know, but
civilizations?
we have like high ranking military officials and governmental officials like substantiating that they actually exist. So aliens exist. I mean, I'm not surprised, you know, where there's
Why would
energy,
it?
there's life. Huh?
Yeah, and also, wouldn't that be way too narcissistic for us to believe that we're the only like sentient, conscious spe
Species.
for
Yeah, yeah.
creature out there? You
Yeah,
know, it
yeah. Yeah.
it blows my mind how um
We're narcissists,
self-centered.
bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're narcissists. Every single
Well,
one of us.
I mean, now it makes me think of like how like we always talk about like the city of Atlantis sinking and everything else. And I'm like, well, I've heard that aliens are underwater beings now. So does that mean that is Atlantis like actually a civilization that they've built underwater this whole time? I mean, I know,
It could be.
but yeah,
Well, I don't know. Anything's possible in this timeline, Bambu. Apparently.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? How about this? What if the simulation was written only up until the year 1999? Like we're in a simulation program, and then the programmers didn't know what to do after 2000, and
And
then
they're
just
like, just let it run.
yeah, just let it run and see what
No
happens.
patches, no updates. We've just
Yeah,
been running without maintenance for like the last fucking 25 years.
yeah,
Yeah, that sounds about right.
yeah.
Yeah.
But next time they could have left us with superpowers or something that would have been far more
I'm
interesting.
just saying, I all I wanted was to at least be able to fly, bro, not having to worry about gas or like or teleportation,
Yeah,
you know? That'd be nice. But no.
or
Or
yeah,
let me glitch out, at least like, let me glitch out for a second and be like, oh shit, I'm back. Oh, that felt great. It's like the new drugs. Hey, want to glitch
yeah.
out? Like
Or
literally.
dude, have instant transmission. Be able to be like, hey, bro, you want to go to Japan real quick? Hold on 1 second. Just like hold them and
Yeah,
just be like gone. Be like,
yeah.
we're in Japan for like another 2 weeks
Or
now.
be able to like generate our own pocket realities, so that I can
Yeah,
make that little reality into whatever the fuck I want. If I'm gonna be in hell, let me make it accommodating. Let me make it my own little hell. I don't know.
yeah. Yeah, I can see that. But yeah,
Well,
welcome to I guess the well, should we just start or what
go
are
ahead.
we?
Go
All
ahead.
right. Sure. Well, hello everybody. Welcome to the TBD Tavern. I am your
And
co-host, the
we're
Wandering
depressed.
Ambu. And we are listen, at the time of recording, it's Friday. It's been a long week for both of us.
Yeah, it's been a
We're
long
we're we're trying to thrive, all right? We're doing our best to not be depresso and just
We're
trying
not
to have a good
thriving,
time.
we are surviving.
Okay, we are surviving. I'm joined by my ever lovable, sweet, sexy, hot Poppy over here, Silver Blaze X, as he's shaking his head, trying to say, like, Humble, you don't have to do that. We're depressed. And I'm like, no, we still have to lift each other up. We have to try to
Your
gas
your
each other
your
up.
love and positivity is bouncing off of me right now.
I did see it fly off in that direction.
Yeah, it's some that way, some
Sorry,
that way.
that wasn't for you. Just
I think you accidentally flinged it at one of the ninja cats, but
oh, okay, no, that's fine. They'll be okay. They need some of that sometimes, you know.
keep them on
Yeah,
their toes.
exactly. But
Where are
today,
we reunited today, Ambu? What are we doing here? What
well, today
what who am I? Where am I? What's happening?
you're 24601.
What's the
You're
point of
Jean
life?
Valjean. You stole bread for your niece, and then you were put to jail because you stole bread. And here you are now. You're stuck recording TBD Tavern
Ah,
episodes as a part of your prison sentence.
yes.
And Javert
That's
is
what it
watching
is.
us in the background. I see him just staring you down, ready to sing a song, and it's the Russell Crowe
No, please,
Javert,
no. I
not
am
a.
so sorry. I apologize. No more. No,
Um,
please.
but man, we are talking about honestly. Okay, I'm gonna say this, chap, or not, chap. My God, tavern. Everybody at the tavern. I'm gonna say this. I
It's okay.
wasn't
Just call him Chad.
expecting to know this kind of like to hear about this type of show. All I know is Silver goes.
Episode?
I have been saying things. I'm so depressed so right now to where I don't even know what I'm saying. Okay, look.
It was a he was trying not to sob. Episode. Episode.
Show. Um. So here's how this show was sold to me, by the way.
Uh,
Silver was like, Anbu, Anbu, you gotta watch this show. It's so funny. It's like House, but an anime.
mm,
And here's the
Después.
thing. I am a sucker for House. I love that show. It's a comfort show. I will like brain rot and sit there for hours watching it. I'll look like a zombie. I'll look like the South Park guy from World of Warcraft, where he's just sitting like this the whole time, like hand on the keyboard, watching it the whole time. Because I just really enjoy the show. I love the writing. I love the characterization. I love the cases. I find them interesting, and so that's how I got sold on this show, and I am so grateful that Silver has sold me on it. So we are reviewing Ameku M.D. And Silver, do you want to talk about Ameku M.D.?
I want to talk about the fact that I'm a good salesman and I sell you a lot of things. Where's my commission? Where's my
Uh,
commission life?
we haven't
Uh
we haven't talked about that yet. Don't worry about it. We'll negotiate it later. It's fine.
Ameku Ameku MD or Ameku Takao no Suiri Karte is
Oh, I'm going
essentially
fancy.
a you know it, baby. Essentially it's like Ambo said, right? You have this super narcissistic, I know everything, uh life doesn't matter. What matters is that I figured things out and that I'm always right sort of individual, except it's not a guy that has like a bum leg and has an addiction to painkillers, but instead it's a tiny, adorable, adult, lolly looking lady. And uh and yeah, it kind of follows the same sort of formula that House does, right? She is the head of this specialty department in her hospital. She deals with it, anything that's difficult, infectious diseases, right? Anything that needs like that needs a investigative research in pathology, right? Um, we open up with having her staff who we have like some random college university guy named Yu Takanashi that
Mhm.
works with her, right? He's working on a case. He thinks he's got it resolved. Next thing you know, she's talking down on him, and it just kind of goes from there, right?
Well,
Go
I
ahead.
thought it was that it was two cases that him and another doctor could not figure out. Like they tried
My
ruling out
Konoikin.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they were.
They put like another female in this, which brings like a weird dynamic. Just really quick, I wanted to mention because like you're like for because it's the usual traditional anime in a way, right? Two girls,
Mhm.
one guy, right? You can see the possibilities of going with Ameku, which is the Doctor House mini girl, and my the more like reasonable, perky, adorable, normal Japanese brunette girl, right? Who's also really smart and sweet, but outgoing, whatever. She has all this, she's like the most normal, more like ideal for him, right? But Yeah, it kind of leaves it open for that. There hasn't been any romance in the series though, but I'm just saying like they
Yeah.
inserted these two characters there for like the possibilities.
I mean, if you were, I'm just gonna jump ahead and say this. If you were to watch the end credits, I feel like there's a hint as to what the pairing is likely going to be, but that is if they ever go that route. But yeah.
I don't know.
So
A lot of hints. Mhm.
so yeah, I mean like the show has Ameku as like the main character, but a lot of the perspective I think typically falls along Takanashi's perspective. We're kind of pulled along his perspective of everyone around him, like Takao Ameku and Konoike and everyone else. Um, but it's just funny because the way that we get introduced to Ameku is she comes in and she's basically telling him like you need to come with me so we can start our study session. And he's like, I can't figure out these two cases. She looks at them both, solves them within like 30 seconds, and then she's like, okay, now we're gonna go like have our study session. Um, and you're just like, what the like honestly, like the first thing you're like, what the heck? She just kind of comes in, solves a case where they're like, I don't even know how to figure this out. Like there's the symptoms are inconclusive, they're too generalized, um, whatever. And she's like, oh, you should have paid attention to this, and you should have paid attention to that. And there you go. So aptly the pilot episode is aptly called Dr. Sherlock, and she literally just pulled a Sherlock on all of us. She's like
Yeah, and
Benedict Cumberbatch. Go ahead.
Cumber Snatch. Is that what you said?
Cumberbatch. I was about to
Oh,
start. Homie. No, she
I
pulled
like
like
Cumber
a.
Snatch better. Uh huh.
Could you imagine like somebody just come up to like your name is now Benedict Cumbersnatch? She's just like, I'm sorry, what? And they're like Benedict
Sorry,
Cumbersnatch.
Benedict. If you ever do listen to this episode, I apologize. However, I am welcome to you meeting me so that I can apologize to you in person.
It would be great to meet with you and have coffee and apologize to you in person and totally not ask you about your acting experiences and advice and everything else. It's totally
Definitely not.
fine.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
Totally fine.
totally, totally. But yeah, so she just does that. And then I think my favorite part about this Silver is in this first episode is you find out that they're like okay, so the what was it? It was a boy and then like an older guy. The boy that they couldn't figure out, he was overdosing on I think vitamin A because his mom was having him take some sort I think like eating fruit and like eating all and like taking these vitamins and it was
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
over the amount that he was supposed to.
That's
Um
episode 7, right? The
no,
prescribed poison.
that's episode one, but we see
No,
him
no,
again in
no.
episode
Episode
seven.
1 is the blue blood guy.
Yeah, but remember at the beginning is the two cases where it's that I think the guy they thought might have appendicitis
Oh,
and
that's right.
yeah,
Because they do a
because he comes
callback.
back. Yeah,
That
because
he
remember like
watched the series, guys.
so like episode the two cases are the boy was overdosing on vitamin A because his mom was feeding him over the amount that the doctor recommended because she was trying to overcompensate because of whatever ailments he had going on. And then the elderly guy that they thought were leaning more towards appendicitis, she was like he had fish recently. He has a parasite in his gut. And she's like, it's so simple. Why didn't you figure this out? And they're both just like,
Dude, it
whoa.
was wild how she started figuring it out because she walks into the room, right? And it's
Yeah.
almost like those like super cheesy like law enforcement criminal minds sort of like TV shows where
Yeah.
she's like it's like zoom in to his hands. She's looking at his hands, and she finds that the dude has like little cuts on his fingers, which tells her that he's a fisher because at times he probably has gotten the hook stuck through his
hmm
finger, right? So it's like, oh, he's a fisher. He's a fisherman. Oh, okay. He fishes every single day. Oh, instead of going to go buy lunch, he goes he fishes like fresh fish out of the wherever the dock he's at, and he cleans the fish, cuts it up, and he makes himself sushi, right? Oh, okay, that's how she got the parasite. What? Like, how
Yeah.
did she come to all of those
Well, it was also
conclusions?
wasn't it also like it was something about like the way that he's it looks like he's not mobile because he was older, and then like he had some sort of tan where it was like a fishing hat, and it
Yeah,
was
oh
just
yeah,
like
yeah. The
I never
tanning
would have
told her
figured.
told him that he's a fisher, that he's out. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Right.
it
Yeah,
was like
yeah,
these
yeah.
little details where you're like, you just legitimately pulled a Sherlock Holmes out of nowhere. But it's so cool that it sets that up as like how she pays, like how she lines up all these clues that
Yeah.
nobody else
Nobody
would have
saw
thought of.
them. But I mean,
Yeah.
because everybody's looking at it from like an aspect of a doctor, which is what their job is, right?
Hmm.
And she's not, I guess she's looking at it from an investigator's point of view, which is my day job, but I don't think even I would have been looking at like the dude's fingers.
Yeah.
Uh so yeah, that was wild how she just made all these like immediate correlations and like connected things one to another that led her to believe like, oh, okay, this guy fishes on a daily basis, and the fish that he catches on a daily basis, he eats it, and eventually those fish had parasites. That's how he got the parasite.
Yeah.
Bro, what?
Yeah. All of that, and she did that within 30 seconds so she could bring him to a study session. And let me tell you, the what makes it better is that her study session with him was to watch Jurassic Park because he had never seen it.
Oh yeah,
That was the whole thing. It was wanting to watch Jurassic Park. And it
she
was
just
just
wanted to
like,
hang out with it, bro.
yeah. She was like, you're my underling. We gotta go watch Jurassic Park. That's your like work for now."
I can
Like,
appreciate that. I can appreciate that. I would love to watch movies with my staff. Honestly, if I could force them
mhm.
to watch movies with me rather than put them to work, that'd be team builder right there, man. I'm here for
Wouldn't
it.
that be a great team building exercise? Like watch
Hey,
it fun.
everybody, pick your favorite all-time movie, and then we'll vote on the top three, and that's what we're doing for the rest of the day,
There you go. Right?
bro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sign me the f up, man.
We'll make them watch Velocipaster. No, I'm kidding.
Whoa, dude, I don't want people to quit on me. What is wrong with you, you beast?
I know I'm a terrible person. I'm
How
kidding.
dare
I
you?
I, I like Velocipaster, but
Google search whatever that just came out of this man's mouth.
Velocipaster, it's
Stop,
Velocipaster.
stop, stop.
You can watch
Anyways,
it on Amazon Prime.
after the old man, ER has somebody
Yeah.
that comes in that is supposedly dying or has died from I don't know what. Uh and then they try and resuscitate him. Revive him,
Wait, that
resuscitate him. Did I say that
no,
right?
that's it.
What
That's it.
what
Oh, wait. Was that? I thought that was a later episode. No, 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 no. You're right. That
the
was the
blue
right.
blood?
It was a younger guy, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a younger guy.
Okay, sorry. I'm
Yeah.
getting things mixed up. I'm thinking about another episode with
I'm the one
the
drinking beer, not you. It's okay.
enjoy your
Okay.
beer. All right.
Thank you.
I don't have any
I'm
beer.
drinking Guinness tonight. It's been a
Nice.
week. Um ER dude
Mm-hmm.
dying. Turns out he is dead already, actually.
Mm-hmm.
But the strange thing is that as they're trying to do tests on him while they're trying to resuscitate him or revive him or whatever, realive him, they do this weird thing, which again, I thought that was kind of weird. I didn't that it was weird. They just stabbed them with a needle and then they started pulling out blood, which I found that kind of weird. Not really sure if that's like a normal thing they do. I saw a review from Dr. Mike, and even he's like, why are they doing that? Why are they just randomly inserting a random needle and
Yeah.
drawing blood from like anywhere on his body? Like, I don't understand. But whatever.
Well,
It's an anime, right?
Well, for context, real quick, one of the things that I think makes Ameku M.D so unique as a manga and as an anime is I believe at the time that it was written by a medical student who wanted to write their own manga. So like, oh, there's a lot of procedures that they actually do that are pretty accurate, which is checking for a pulse, determining whether or not they can do like a intubation or like cut in the trachea and like stick a tube in for
Yeah.
breathing.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
there's all
it
these.
was very it was very accurate. Even Dr. Mike said that it was very
Yeah,
accurate.
I'm just letting
It's
people know
just
that
that
it's
that one thing it was like why? But it
Yeah.
could come down to the whole thing of what writers do. Sometimes, right? You need to do things to kind of make the plot move along and make sense, right? Because let's say it's all by the book, right? Maybe if you go all by the book medically, they would have never found out that his blood was blue all the way up to the autopsy, maybe, right? Which would have been much further. But they probably wanted to give that impact of like, whoa, this dude has blue blood. Like even the nurse or whoever was drawing the blood, like
Hmm.
dropped the needle. Like what medical professional like gets weirded out like that and just drops it? Like it, you know, that's also not
Yeah.
accurate. Like the things that nurses or doctors see on the ER on the daily basis is probably the most terrifying things that we can barely even imagine. So that was also like not really accurate, right? But again, I think it's just a mechanism to like push along the the whole plot of that episode of like, oh, this dude has blue blood. What mysteries will this detective doctor take us through?
Well, I
What's
feel
up, bro?
like, well, I'm trying to think because I remember when I first watched this, I read
Yeah,
a Reddit review from a doctor's perspective, and for the most part, they said that the ER procedures were mostly correct. I think they
yeah,
alluded to the
they were.
blood drawing was kind of weird, but you're right. I do think that, the an anime or like a show has to take liberties, like you said, to make things move forward. So I
Correct.
agree with you. Like it, yeah. Um, I think I was
Thank
trying
you
to
for
get
agreeing with
whether
me. Hey, I
I
appreciate
was
you.
trying to
Thanks for
remember. I
your
was just trying to
support.
remember if they brought up the needle or not. I'll have to look it up. I'll have to show you later.
Okay.
Anyway, so yeah,
Nobody's
blue
better than
blood.
you, Dr. Mike. If you ever listen to this episode, I fucking love you, bro.
Oh,
It's all good. It's all good. I got you. I got you, man. He's trying to
oh my
disprove you,
gosh,
but hey, I got you.
I'm
Don't worry
not
about it.
trying
Shh,
for.
just shut the fuck up and move the episode. Let's go. What were we gonna say next?
Damn, okay, hold up. So, so of course, Ameku sees the blue blood and decides that this case is now interesting, which leads into a whole thing where there's a police unit that's trying to keep her from getting involved. Even her father, because by the way, her dad is like the director of the hospital is like, don't get involved because you don't need to do this. It's not your profession. And like House, she's gonna do it anyway. She just decides it's part of her job.
She's like,
So.
bet.
Yeah, so she does the thing where she's figured out that the wound is so the guy is missing a leg also. She's figured out how much force would have had to have like the leg cut off. Um, Figure out like its teeth. So they had to like go over what type of beast it was. And then also at the same time, the police are telling her, by the way, we might have a Yakuza like clan war because there's like a whole lot of stuff going on because I think he was part of another Yakuza family and he was also gunned down by an opposing Yakuza family as well. So it wasn't just that this guy was like dead with blue blood, there was also a lot of like other stuff going on. And so it
Did you
I
mention
don't
the
even
leg?
yeah, I mentioned like
Okay.
yeah. So it like it gets into this crazy situation where it's like the police are trying to stop like a turf war. She's trying to figure out like she's just interested in the case. The police are trying to stop her, but clearly no one is a match for Takala Meku and keeping her from looking into this case. Because what we find out is the guy's leg was trumped on by a T-Rex skull that hadn't been put up yet for a museum that was getting ready to open. And you're probably wondering to yourself, like Silver right now is kind of looking like going, what? Why would he have his leg chopped off by a T-Rex leg?
No,
What?
I was thinking, I was like, you jumped ahead, man.
Did I?
She didn't know it was a T. They said it was an animal's. It looked like an animal bit into
I
their leg, and they didn't know what kind of animal would do that. And why would an animal in the middle of the city attack them? That's what it also baffled them. Blue blood and an animal bit his leg. Like,
mm,
what happened to this dude? It
okay,
wasn't
that's
until
fair.
much later that they end up finding out through the museum stuff. But yeah,
Okay, I'll let you steer it. I'll let you just go
no,
for it.
it's fine. I just remembered that they said the leg got bitten by some sort of it got mauled by some sort of animal, but they just
Yeah,
didn't know what it was. And then she gets involved with the detectives. I don't know why the detectives have like the mindset of like, we're just gonna carry her around with us as we do this investigation and do all these interviews. And as they're doing all these interviews, that's where she comes to the conclusion that it all started at the museum, right? And that
yeah,
yeah, it had to do with the Yakuza. I think the rest you remember it correctly. I'm sorry,
yeah.
I didn't mean to
No, you're all
interrupt you.
good. How dare you correct me so that way we get this accurate, okay, sir?
Oh,
How dare you?
it's a skill.
Yeah, I
You
can
know,
tell. You gotta steer me in the right direction. I'm just gonna go in 50
I don't
million
know if it's
ways.
the right one, but we wing it. We wing it.
Okay, so to boil it down so we can get further into the rest of the series, I'll jump many different points. Silver's gonna be like, Ambu, stop, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Um, we find out more about who worked on him originally, or like who he saw before he came to her hospital. We find that the museum is also attached to an aquarium where they have something called methylene blue, is what I think is called, which is a drug that they use for tropical fish that also reverses oxygen deprivation. That's going to be key later on because what we find out is that um what if, so like so she decides to go visit the doctor who had worked on this guy before uh before the guy died and then went to her hospital. And at first there's this moment where she starts listing tropical fish, like a whole bunch of different like random aquarium fish, and the doctor recognizes it right away without like a second with he's confused by why she says this, but
Yeah,
but it's like he knows what she's talking about. What we find out is this was her trap to lure him out because she knew you'd find this out at the end of the episode, but she knew he was likely the culprit, and that's why she did that. Because there's these clues like the a methylene blue, they found a puddle of it at the aquarium, and it led her to realizing that what had happened, and her suspicion was true, was that the guy went to this doctor because he worked for the Yakuza and he helped them by doing like under the table things, trying to like do their operations, trying to help them with injuries, etc. This guy uh, had overdosed on anesthesia, which caused him to lose oxygen. So he was depleted of oxygen. So this doctor, trying not to bring him to a hospital to raise more questions or anything like that, tried to use this methylene blue um, thing that is used for fish to try to revive him, but it didn't work. And so, in order to make it look like it was something else, he found the T-Rex skull laying out, I think, in the yard of the museum, and then pushed it down on the guy's leg, broke it off, and then somehow made it to where he went to the hospital for what looked like a beast chopping his leg off, but it was for him to cover it up. And how she furthermore figured out or like confirmed that's what happened was she knew that by mentioning the fish and that they were close to catching the killer and that they were going to go back to the aquarium, or like or that not mentioning going back to the aquarium, but that they were on the case of the killer, and they were going to continue later that night. She knew he would go to the aquarium because he was going to try to take the methylene blue that had his fingerprints on it, so that way he wouldn't be caught. It's pretty intense, but it's really well done. Did I miss anything?
yes. No, I don't know. It all sounded great. No, yeah. I mean, the dude tried to do things for the Yakuza. The dude was the bad guy. He messed up while trying to help him in order to cover himself up. He had the genius idea of using the T-Rex skeleton from the museum that he was working there in the it's an aquarium and a museum. Um,
Hmm.
I don't know, dude. Like, it just still makes no sense. Why did he use the T? Like, I don't know, man. He could have done
It was, I
anything
think it's
else.
because I think they were it was trying to draw attention away from the any ties to Yakuza with like the gunshots. I think he was trying
Mhm.
to do it as like he might have been defending himself. It could have been anything else, and then something tried
Yeah,
to
but I
chew
mean,
on
if
him.
he's a doctor that has that much influence in that museum, right, or in that aquarium, like he could have used any other tool and still kind of put away the evidence. I feel like if I was trying to get away with not really murder, but like if something like that happened, I don't think I'm gonna
Yeah.
use like the exhibition uh to cut this dude's leg, like it just I don't know, man. It was kind of a sloppy fret, but again, she figured it all out. She put it all together in her head. It made sense. It was kind of cool to see her just between these two episodes, one and two, that handle this whole fiasco. Having to come to those conclusions, having to work with law enforcement,
Hmm.
and figure out why the blood was blue. And it was a good episode. It was fun. It was different, you know.
Yeah.
And again, like I said, it had those undertones of house, which I appreciated. Um,
Yeah. And Sherlock
yeah,
to me, which made it better.
and Sherlock, yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a good little mix. I like a good um I mean, it's a little bit of comedy, but I like animes that have to do with like a little bit of like thinking, like critical
Hmm.
thinking. And this definitely hit me in the investigator bone. So, I don't know. Those first two episodes really drew me in, and then as the other episodes progress in this series, and right now it's up. The series is up to episode 11. Episode 12 is going to be the last episode for season one. I don't know if the next season is going to be confirmed or whatnot, but it's worth it. You guys should definitely go check it out. It has a lot of really cool, interesting stories.
Yeah.
Like I was telling Ambu, I accidentally ruined it probably for you guys, but there's an episode that does a callback to episode one on the kid that is getting too many vitamins by the mom. And honestly, the plot twist on that episode is wild, right? And it
Yeah.
reminds you that there's not just like I guess things there's not just like things that affect our bodies like viruses and bacteria and illnesses, but there's also like the illness of your mind, right? And I don't know, this series has a little bit of everything and it's really cool. Again, I definitely recommend for everyone to watch this series. It's on Crunchyroll, and
Yeah.
it's also really digestible. It's really easy because it gives you a little bit of the what's happening of the story, what needs to get solved, a little bit of like the IRL lives of what's going on with the doctors, the different
Hmm.
casts here, a little bit of comedy, right? At times a little bit of thriller like in it. It has a good little mix of everything. It's I don't know. I really have been enjoying it. It's a nice little watch. It's a good little anime buffer to watch between some of the bigger series out there, and while you're waiting. So it's definitely a must watch for
Yeah.
everyone. And you know what? I didn't know there was a manga. I will definitely. I mean, there's always a manga, right? But
There's
I
16
didn't
light
even
novels
check
of
it
it
out.
too.
Wow. Okay, now you
Yeah.
got me sold.
So
I love light novels.
there's
Yeah,
16 light or 13 so the new
that's incredible.
editions there's 16
Mhm.
light novels.
That's incredible. That's
The
awesome.
original batches were released from 2014 to 2022, and then the new editions were from
Wow.
2023 to 2024. And then they made up to four manga volumes of an adaptation.
And
Um,
it's pretty well ranked in my anime list. That's
mhm.
7.14, which is not bad. So
No, it's a great, I mean,
yeah,
it's honestly a fun show. It like one of the things that I really like about it too is like there a lot of the things that solve the cases are very tiny and minute details you would never think of. It's like the tiniest things that like you've said, Silver, where it's like I don't know how many people are going to pay attention to those very minute details that would solve these cases.
yeah.
One of them deals with spontaneous combustion and like how did these people all of a sudden catch on fire? What set it off? And then when you find out what the answer is, it's crazy because that's not something many of us would know about or even think about because it's not common. Um, the callback with the little kid, again, same thing. I never would have known what that was, like what it was causing the issue for him. I never would have guessed that. But then like the way that the show breaks it down, it's like so crazy how scarily like good that is. And then like what I like too is that the show is very human, right? Like Ameku
Yes.
isn't just like some I'm a smarty pants like house where house is human. I feel like Ameku is very, very human. There's these two episodes which I wanted to jokingly say "fuck you, Silver" because they made me cry. They were the two episodes before this last story arc that we have for the final three episodes, where it's dealing with a little kid that she helped out with when she worked in the pediatrics unit as part of a
Yeah,
residency.
yeah.
That was a
Hmm.
heartbreaking one. And it's a beautiful story too, because again, like the way that the story is set up, you think, oh, like, we've got this going on, this going on, but then you find out like why these people are doing what they're doing, and then like you're dealing with Ameku's own like feelings and insecurities and anxieties and doubts and like regrets, and then you're seeing like um just the sad reality of life, but it does it so well to where it wants to remind you that they are human. Ameku's human. Even if she comes off as being more brash and like I'm smarter than you, I've got this figured out, you know that there are things that like make her sad and hurt her and things that make her want to run away because that it's hard. And I love that about the show.
Yeah, me too. Definitely. Go watch it, guys. And I will go read the manga and I will read the light novel because you just made my day. I didn't know that. That sounds
Yeah, dude,
fantastic.
I only knew because I was like reading real quick, just double checking some stuff, and I was like, oh, that's the case. There's a
Yeah. And go
television
cry
drama?
after you watch the episodes. No, well, I believe it. I mean, think
Yeah,
about it, right? Like it's a perfect storyline for a drama. I mean,
and
House is a drama.
yeah.
So yeah,
Well,
why
dude,
wouldn't Japan want to invest in what and doing like a live action drama of this?
there's also a radio show that has been done for this, and I kind of want to find and listen to that now.
That's crazy,
That's
man. That's
yeah.
crazy.
But yeah,
But
I think at the end of the day, like if we're gonna summarize it, this is definitely a show where I'm glad we're not delving any further into the episodes because I feel like it's worth your time to watch. You'll have a great time. It's
definitely,
very palatable, and like
you
you
will
said, it's very
cry.
digestible. You will cry, but you'll find it very fascinating. And for those of you
It is very
who,
fascinating.
yeah, and for those of you who are like again are really into shows that are like House or Sherlock, you're gonna be entertained because it does a good job of combining both. And yeah, I'm grateful to Silver for getting me to like watch it.
You're
So
welcome.
yeah,
I'm glad I
so
can make you cry yet again.
fuck you, lovingly. But in the comments below, for those of you who are watching us on YouTube, let us know what is a show that you think is maybe underrated or underappreciated. What's a show that maybe we should look into because I mean there are like I feel like Ameku wasn't on a lot of people's radars until it came out and then people loved it. But what's a show that like you think is gonna have that element to it, like being unique and very interesting and should deserve time? Let us know below. And also don't forget to follow us and subscribe to us. That'd be great too. And
Turn
also
on
follow
those
us on Apple,
notifications.
exactly. Apple Podcast, Spotify. We're there.
YouTube.
We're
Yeah.
YouTube. We're infecting everybody's systems one way or another. We're here.
Yeah.
We're a tavern.
There,
We
there is
exist.
no there's no Meku that's gonna save you from us.
No,
Sorry.
sorry.
We're like COVID. Nah, it got too dark. No, not like we're not like COVID. I'm sorry. We're you know what? Bye. Have a good one, guys.
Later. Don't forget to pay your tabs.